Ugh. Much more has occurred since I first beheld the Eorzea from the galleon's deck. Suffice it to say, I did not envisage being invited to play a part in your noble struggle. But forgive me, I have kept you overlong. Doubtless you have pressing business of your own. Rest assured, I no longer require an escort in this land. When next you meet Lady Menfulia, pray relay to her my humblest thanks. Would that I could do so in person, but I must fulfill my promise to the Admiral. Till we meet again, warrior of light. Yeah, it's just what you said previously. There we go. Alright. I think I need to chat with people here as well. An adventurer bends not to authority, but lives and acts according to his own beliefs. He is the master of his own destiny. I've been tasked with helping out in the kitchen. Once I've grown accustomed to my duties, I hope to treat our hosts to traditional Doman cuisine. In my native land, there exist individuals not unlike these adventurers, yet without a master to serve. How does one know the path that one must walk? History is our friend, young one. The answers to the problems of the present are oft to be found within the past. We need but seek them out. What if you wanted to solve a problem that's already happened? Like Garlean's destroying Doma. On behalf of the Sands, I bid you welcome to the Rising Stones. With your cooperation, we hope to grow rich and transform this place into the piling gold. Teehee. Oh, Drumcran, forgive me, but I must see to the Doman's needs. The Rising Stones. What a peculiar name for a sanctuary. Some 15 years ago, mission, took me to Olda. It was then that I first chanced to gaze upon your beauty. I was utterly transfixed. I dared not blink, lest I, deprive myself of even a split secondary radiance. You do flatter me, dear, and I do believe that you had a bit too much to drink. What in the seven hells are you doing up there? Get down before you fall and break your neck. Don't mind Papa Emo, he's making a fuss over nothing as usual. His sense of balance is amazing for a boy his age. Wonder how he got so good. You think this is impressive? In Doma we train to run into treetops. Ninjas. Some Domans want to learn how to fight, and it's fallen to me to oversee their training. First, I need to find suitable equipment for everyone.
I have been reflecting upon the events which took place during our visit to Vilbrand. If you have a moment, I would share my conclusions with you. Please, bear with me. When the Sahagin Elder summoned Leviathan, he employed the power we have come to know as the Echo. Though I cannot well explain the how of it, it would seem he became immortal in so doing. When the Admiral subsequently slew him, his spirit emerged from his lifeless flesh, a consciousness shorn of physical form. Thus transfigured, he took up residence in the body of his minion with the ease of a man donning a favorite glove. Long have I known that the echo allows one to pass through the walls of a man's soul, but never did I imagine that it could free us from our own flesh, nor less that our souls could then occupy the next corporeal vessel to take our fancy. It was of this that Elidibus spoke, an existence which knows neither cessation nor oblivion. And yet, though the Sahagin had mastered his gift and thereby become immortal, he was by no means invulnerable.
Indeed, he became immortal, not amortal.
As we both bore witness, he was ultimately absorbed into Leviathan. And the import of this observation? If the Ascians' mode of existence is indeed the same, it can be inferred that they too are not invulnerable, that they can be destroyed. There exists a legend which tells of souls who are reborn upon the cusp of each umbral calamity, that they might stay the encroaching darkness. To most, it is but a fairy tale, yet recent events have given me cause to wonder. Could the legend in fact refer to the echo? Much and more yet remains unknown, but I am confident that all will become clear in time. For the present, however, what matters is that the key to defeating the Ascians may at last be within sight. With Urianger's aid, it is my hope that I shall fathom this matter ere long. Oh, I was just about to send for you, my friend. Is Artemis?
Grave tidings from the Sharlayan motherland, my lady. It doth concern our distant allies, the students of Baldessian.
What of them?
Dead.
My lady, the Isle of Val, which for many years hath been the Order's home, is no more.
No more? Whatever do you mean?
I relate only that which hath been conveyed unto me by our agents. An etheric wave of the highest magnitude was recorded in the region. Soon thereafter, it was observed that the isle had ceased to be. 'Tis postulated that a magic was evoked, like in power to Ultima.
12 preserve.
If there are no other matters, I move that today's meeting be adjourned.
It is done, my lord. Forgive my impertinence, my lord, but these orders, I am uncertain as to what end they serve.
Revolution.
Oh, that's ominous. Onion shield. Hair knives. Cognitome. True to Maelstrom. Winfrey's thoughts keep returning to the fate of the students of Baldessian. Our friends, the very isle itself, everyone and everything. No, it avails us not to speculate. Urianger will send... Urianger? I don't know how it's said. Urianger will send word if there are any developments. Till such time as he does, we must remain firmly focused on that which is within our power to change. With that in mind, I would speak of a different matter, one closer to home. It concerns etheric fluctuations which he'd previously attributed to good King Mogul Good King Moggle Mog the 12th. That the king is no more is a blessing for which we have you to thank. Yet always not well in the 12th wood. Our latest readings reveal an ongoing aetheric disturbance of considerable magnitude. They may even suggest the presence of a primal. Needless to say, the mere possibility warrants immediate investigation, and I would have you... Celia, I do not wish to interrupt, but we have a problem. What manner of problem? A band of refugees hailing from Alda this time are come to Revenant's Toll seeking asylum. It would seem they expect us to afford them the same treatment we gave to Domans. Present, they are in the 7th heaven, awaiting a formal response. I see. Mayhap this was to be expected. I shall meet with them at once. Celia, you know full well we haven't resources to accommodate many more people. Consider what will happen if you do this. Word will spread and more will follow. Your opinion is duly noted, but I will hear their suit. Drumcran, I should be grateful for your presence at this meeting. I'm well aware that the resources are finite, but we have a responsibility to protect the people of Eorzea. Draggle-tailed refugee. I apologize for keeping you waiting. My name is Menfulia, and I lead the Silence of the 7th Dawn. 12 be praised. It is you. We're ready and willing to work, same as the Domans. Just give us a task and we'll see it done. Pray calm yourselves. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I know naught of your situation. Beg your pardon, antecedent. I ain't so good with words. We've been living off scraps of all that for years now, trying to piece together a life to place one what got took. They say there's work, but there's naught for an honest man. Naught as wouldn't sully his soul sooner than his palms, Annie wrote. The flames do what they can for us, but of course, for what they can for us, of course, but it ain't near enough. And it's only getting worse. When the calamity brought us to our knees, those rich bastards in the city didn't help us up. They climbed on our backs. I don't pretend to be clever, but even I can see what's coming. I knew we had to run. The only question was where. And it came to me, Revenant's Toll. I mean, it took them foreigners in, didn't you? So you'd surely do the same for us. I fear the situation is more complicated than that. What is true that we accepted Doman's petition for aid. That decision was the product of extraordinary circumstances. I sympathize deeply with your plight, but pray understand, it is not possible for an organization of our means to aid all who have been affected by the calamity. And so it is with great regret I must deny your request. But we've nowhere else to go. You're turning your back on us? If I might have a word. Tataru, is aught amiss? No tidings from Alda, my lady. Alphanod has been wounded. What? How? Is it serious? I cannot say for certain, but I fear it might be. According to the flames, the refugees started a riot. They went wild, apparently, lashing out at Annie and everyone. That can't be right. Why would they? They must have been provoked. The demonstration was meant to be peaceful. 7 hells. Now the blades have an excuse. To round us up and kill anyone who tries to resist. Yeah, I am recording good. Antecedent, please. If you won't help us build a new life, at least help us keep the ones we've got. My lady. We're not one to stand idly by and watch innocents suffer. However, until we know more of the circumstances surrounding this riot, I'm not certain what aid, if any, we can provide. Authorities determined that refugees attacked without provocation, then those responsible will have to answer for their actions. How can you be so blind? Find Alpha and quickly. If he's in danger or worse, I would have you and none other by his side. Thank you. But you don't concern yourself with the matter we were discussing earlier. Yida and Papalima will see to it. Alpha has been treated by the Argos. Hurry, Drumcran. Don't believe what they say. I know these people. They only take up arms to defend themselves. If there's a riot, I swear to you, they didn't start it. Let's stop in a mo and get something to eat, because I'm actually rather hungry. Now, here's Alphanod. Seems fine from what we saw of him thus far.
Come, you must have gathered by now that Tataru is given to exaggeration. As you can see, I am quite well. Ul'dah, on the other hand, is not. This riot was anything but an isolated incident. There is a restlessness in the air. Tensions long simmering are at last threatening to boil over. Ul'dah is a nation infamous for the great disparity between the wealthy and the poor. The majority of the populace accepts this state of affairs because they believe that every man bears responsibility for his own lot in life. To an Ul'dan, money is the foremost, and some would say the only measure of a man's worth. Small wonder that the wealthiest wield the greatest influence. So where do the refugees fit into this social hierarchy? What place is there for those who fled Alanigo and the destruction of the Calamity? Plainly, there is none.
Hello.
They have no wealth, no power, and no worth. To the Ul'dan way of thinking, they may as well not exist. Choosing to ignore their existence, however, is patently not an option. General Rauban and the Sultana understand this, which is why they ordered the Immortal Flames to provide the refugees aid and succor. Yet none would dispute that the expenses incurred by this policy grow by the day, with no end in sight. This has prompted more and more Ul'dans to question their obligation to aid these worthless wanderers. While more and more refugees have come to resent their treatment at the hands of the sneering citizenry. The manner of Lord Lolorito's refusal to grant the Dolmens asylum bespoke a disdain for all refugees, an attitude shared by the rest of the monetarists. And you may be sure they make no effort to conceal their opinions. It was only a matter of time before the refugees united in protest. Nor is it any surprise that some among them would ultimately resort to violence. That the immortal flames should choose this of all occasions to engage in joint training exercises with the other Grand Companies. By the time they return, the situation may well have deteriorated beyond mending.
Alphinaud wishes to investigate the circumstances surrounding the riot. As I told you before, it was all but inevitable that an incident of this kind would eventually occur given the rising tensions within the Sultanate. Nevertheless, I have reason to suspect this particular riot may not have begun spontaneously. Have I piqued your curiosity? Good. Then you will accompany me to the Hall of the Flames. I would hear what General Bond has to say upon the matter. Hold on, what's that pet called? The Gold Whisker? Okay. Oh, they're just standing here. Now is not a good time, Lieutenant Taldros. My hands are full dealing with the refugees. Precisely the matter we wish to discuss, General. Raban, Raban. Alphinaud, back on your feet already? Alphinaud, back on your feet already? You may credit my swift recovery to your surgeons. I never know how to say that. My memories of the riot are still somewhat muddled. I trust you managed to gain control of the situation? Not entirely. We secured the city soon enough, but not before the unrest had spread to the surrounding territories. Pockets of resistance remain throughout Tanalan. We've sent what forces we can spare to root out the last of the belligerents, but progress is slow. They are damnably elusive. I can well imagine, given that most refugees live outside the walls. Stands to reason they will know the lay of the land. What I do not understand is how they came to be so well prepared. Before my little accident, I observed that several refugees were armed, and not with butcher's knives and pitchforks, but with martial weaponry. I need hardly add that such equipment is costly. None can deny that tensions between the Olden citizenry and the refugee population have increased since the Domans were turned away. But would not that motivate a starving man to purchase arms in lieu of... But would that motivate a starving man to purchase arms in lieu of food? Well, I think not. And what of those who have not even a single guild to spend, who could not survive without the aid provided by the immortal flames? Surely they would sooner sell a weapon than bring it to bear against their benefactors. Come to the point. Very well. My point, General, is that this powder keg of discontent was not set alight by chance. These events were deliberately set in motion and now order must be restored. That is my first duty. Until it is done, any investigation can wait. We don't have time to discuss this. My scouts will be returning anon. The General is no fool. He keeps his own counsel and with good cause. Were he to claim, without necessary proof, that these riots were instigated by outside forces, Montrose would accuse him of attempting to shirk responsibility. After all, he and the Sultan have been the most outspoken proponents of refugee aid. Regardless, they will face harsh criticism in the days ahead. Our allies may stumble upon the truth in time, but have far more faith in your ability, Stromgren. Therefore, I propose we conduct our own investigation, independent of the authorities. To that end, I would have you make inquiries in the settlements suspected of harbouring belligerents. Commander Swift will know which they are. He may balk at requests for such information, but if doubtless you can persuade him with your silver tongue. I meanwhile shall seek answers in my own way, after which we can regroup and share our findings. Well then, shall we? You look as though you have some say, Lieutenant Todros. Do you? What you ask is no simple favor. Were such information to fall into wrong hands, the lives of countless soldiers will be at risk. Even so, there is wisdom in your words. An able individual, even one with ties to the flames, may be better suited to this task than a regiment. Very well. The Brass Blades have reported suspicious activity in the vicinity of Lost Hope. Maybe unrelated to recent events, but we doubt it. I suggest you begin by speaking to the Blades posted there. I was there previously. Like the people are resorting to eating cactus. Or something. It was, you know, part of the fate. Alright, mounting? Amal Burga. What brings you here, adventurer? A search for refugees? Well, then you've come to the right place. Oh, you mean those refugees? No, you won't find them here. Most of the people of Lost Hope have come to accept their situation and are content to pass their days in peace and quiet. Outsiders have trouble understanding that, like that merchant who passed through recently. Gregarious fellow, but awfully opinionated. Can't say how sad to see him go. Oh, that's a chick? Alright. Didn't know from a distance. Didn't expect him to send you, Drumcran. Take it this means someone has read my report. The refugees who left with the merchant have yet to return, and I'm increasingly concerned with Zawaka's suspicions were correct. You haven't foggiest what I'm talking about, do you? Never mind. Speak with Zawaka. He'll explain everything. Ah, don't hurt me. I'm not one of them. I beg your pardon? You're of the Flames, but you're not with the Flames? I see. If Wilfric bid you speak with me, then I take it you've agreed to help. So I'll be praised for that, because we haven't a moment to waste. Everyone knows the Flames are on the march. The others have fallen under the fanatic spell, but not I. Promises revolution and retribution, holding the ruling class to account and taking that which is owed. Ha! A childish fancy. I did everything I could to dissuade the others from leaving, but few would hear my words. Now that one of our Now that one of our idealists has returned, however, the madness of Merchant's plan is plain for us, for all to see. Look upon yonder tent, and you'll understand why. Even now he babbles incoherently, traumatized is he by the bloodshed he witnessed. Try as I might, I can make little sense of his words beyond the fact that he was not alone in surviving. I have no doubt the merchant will lead the remainder to their doom. I beg of you, find them before he does. The man said naught of his surviving comrade's whereabouts. Naught I could understand at least. Mayhap you'll be able to extract some sense from him. Wish you good fortune. What are you doing? Don't draw. Don't draw. Why didn't you run away with me? We could have escaped together. Then you'll be here. With me. Be here to soothe me. Why did you have to stay and leave me alone? Who are you? What do you want? It's true, I followed the merchant. May the gods strike me down for my folly. What they will not give, you must take, he said. And we asked how. He revealed a cache of weapons he'd bought and implored us to seize control of our fates. I thought about running then and there, but the others were so excited. Split us into two groups and sent us off on our own. But But when the flames found us, we didn't know what to do. We either tried to parley with theirs, but then they started arguing, and then fighting. Then everyone was fighting. The flames were shouting to give no quarter, and... oh, the gods, the other group. They're still out there. But don't stop them, they'll be massacred like mine was. The terrified refugee would have you find his brethren and convince them to lay down their arms. The other refugees are hiding in the caves south of Lost Hope, but to approach them will be fruitless. They will call us agents of the Sultanate and try to kill us, then listen to reason. Why, the twins might even deign to do the deed themselves. A pox on all bloody sellswords. They're supposed to train us to fight, but the ones he sent with us vanished during the struggle. Oh, if only we never listened to the merchant's ridiculous claims. He said our cause was righteous. The gods will never suffer us to be defeated. Though if they were forced to confront reality, that is. I could challenge the twins to combat, and show my brethren that the strongest warriors are no match for one man. Mayhap then they'll agree to lay down their arms and renounce this plot. Hurt the twins if you must. Pray do your utmost not to harm the others. They're not very excitable, are they? 7 House, they found us. Everyone grab your gear and make for the rendezvous point. So that's your game, eh? So that's your game, is it? Haha. Sorry to disappoint you, lad. But we're more than willing to kill you ourselves. We can take him. You should never come here. Don't worry, I've set the spear to stun. Do your worst. Huff, huff. You won't stop us. You can't stop us. Ha! A challenge. A challenge. It's been too long. Meddlesome wretch. He beat him like it was nothing. Paul Almighty. What are we gonna do now? We yield, alright? We yield. That's what you wanted, ain't it? So go away and let us be. Well, to be honest, I kinda want more than that, but fine. That's all I can get. If we go this way, we'll end up right by the guy. You've returned. Did you find my brethren? What are the twins? What happened? I see. Well, you had no choice. Better that a handful of them take a beating from you than the lot get butchered by the flames. Tell me, what did the merchant have to say when it was over? But where else would he be? Unless he went to Stone's Throw to recruit others. As I recall, he wished to approach the refugees there as well, but was waiting until the flames withdrew their forces from the vicinity. Now that they have, there's nothing to stop him from continuing his work. How many more must perish in pursuit of this futile cause? How much more suffering must we endure before it ends? Find him, convince him to cease his mad quest, which will lead us to ruin. Oh. Sniffle, have you seen my parents? They told me to stay here with the others. Says they'll be back soon, but it's been days. They left with the man from Olda. The man said they were going to change everything. Pigs would go live inside the walls with everyone else. I liked it when he said that. Didn't like it when he talked about making the rich people pay. Everyone looked so angry and I got scared. Lots of people left with the man after that, but no one's come back. Got to just return to the Hall of Flame. Done. Saving pictures. Alright, run. Kinda wish you could mount. Make things quicker.